Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
You really adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Bazinga.
2 in the box.
Ready to go.
We be fast and
They be slow.
Cool.
8 o'clock and not be late.
And we're recording. Thank you for checking out the Mt.Geekmore podcast, your favorite podcast where we argue, talk, and debate over the top 4, the Mount Rushmore, if you will, of your favorite pop culture subjects. Today's pop culture subject is one near and dear to everybody's heart, it seems like, because it's grossed over billions of dollars in the box office, is our favorite MCU fight scenes. So I am Nary Science. With me, as usual, is Jeff.
Yo!
And we got Dave.
Howdy.
And we got Missy.
Hi.
Avengers Assemble! It's the K-pop version?
That needs to be a button. That needs to be a button.
So, thank you guys for checking us out. Yeah, we're going to be talking about MCU fight moments, fight scenes. Missy?
And this is just the movies.
Just the movies,
Yeah.
not including the TV shows, because as much as Marvel and Kevin Feige likes to lie to you guys, the public, saying that the TV shows are intertwined with the movies, they're not, because they've never made an appearance. Perfect time for that would have been Endgame, when a fucking million portals opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just digitally have fucking people walk through. You didn't even, just like they had Donald fucking, they had a Howard the Duck,
yeah.
walk through one of the portals. You could have had fucking Luke Cage walk through one of the portals. Easy.
Now
You don't have to show him fighting.
They did include Jarvis. So,
Yeah. So if Jarvis is in a fight scene, you could include Jarvis. All right.
good talk. Cool.
So anyway, Missy, how did you make your selections?
Okay.
Was there self-imposed rules that you had?
Yes, I went with the stuff that was like popped. My mountain ended up being stuff that came to my mind anyway. And I watched a couple YouTube like compilation videos to make sure, but they were standout. And I'll explain why. And the only thing that was my stipulation was that to make sure that the scenes they weren't just a random like fight, but it moved the MCU story along.
Oh,
look at you. It's the Empire Strike Back rule.
Right.
Okay.
Or something good. Yeah, no, that's good. That makes sense.
You son of a bitch.
God, you're so awful.
God, I fucking hate you.
You guys are so easy.
Fuck you, Robin Sparkles.
So
Robin Sparkles for y'all.
it was pretty easy for me, and I was actually surprised that I ended up with the mountain I did, but
Nice.
I'll explain.
Dave?
So this mountain was incredibly easy, and then I realized that every single one of my picks was a Captain America fight.
Get the fuck out of here.
shocker.
So I said, you know what?
Christy, what are you
wanna
doing here?
I want to have some variety here, so I limited myself to not having all 4 picks be Captain
Go
America.
with your heart, sir.
No. He's fucking making...
Yeah,
Then why even have him here? Just fucking call out. If you're going to go with everything that we think he's going to say, just have the list. And we just say, and Dave says Captain America,
It
Captain
should
America.
be like a bingo one day. We should just play bingo with.
that's
What
a
would Dave
bingo.
So
Okay.
then you made that self-imposed.
Yeah, so I made the self-imposed rule. I'm not going to make all the fights Captain America fights.
Okay.
And then so I just tried to swap out a couple of them. The thing is, there's a lot of really good fights. So there are no shortage of fights here, and I'm still really happy with my list.
It's almost like it's a superhero franchise.
What?
I'm gonna say ditto to Dave.
Yeah.
Because I could have had a Captain America mountain with Captain America honorable mentions because because he's fucking dope. But I put a self-imposed rule that I did not do that, unlike my wife. And
No, hers is Bucky.
I do not have any giant fight scenes.
Marker.
I don't have any of the
the
massive
same.
fight scenes are not on my list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the large scale
Battles,
Battle of
none them have made my
Wakanda,
mountain.
Don't
stuff
worry.
like.
Except one
got
kind
you.
of is a large scale battle, I guess, but it's an honorable mention. But it's not
I
any that
kind
you
of
think.
did that with Iron Man. I was like, okay, you can't have all Iron Man. You gotta dial it back. You can't have all Iron Man.
I think Iron Man and Cap are kind of like hand in hand on the amount.
So I kind of did that with that kind of, not because they weren't all gonna be Iron Man, but I could have, like, before I even, like, I remember when I made my first pick, shocker, spoiler, there's gonna be an Iron Man fight in there. But when I made my first pick, it was an Iron Man fight, and I purposely at that moment, told myself, just enough with the Iron Man. Keep it, dial it back. So I did that with Iron Man, but then after that, I kind of wanted to do one of those things where it wasn't like the big, huge scenes. Like if there would have been a chess match in a fucking MCU, I would have chosen that just to be able to be like,
It's been like a fight, the fight of the
yes, the chess
fight of the
match.
wits.
So
one of your picks is
so that's my thing.
Mine?
no his.
So those are mine. Not to say that I don't have any big fight scenes. I just I went with most of my picks. I would say are like self-contained within one area. Meaning that the scene took place in that scene, as opposed to there's a 12-minute fight scene that went through, that they traveled here and they traveled there and they went through space and all this bullshit. So that's where I went with. Missy, what's your number 4?
It's from Captain America: Winter Soldier, and it's Hydra versus Cap.
Table.
Hydra versus Cap?
Yeah.
I wasn't able to
Elevator.
finish. No.
Oh.
Hydra versus Cap, Widow, and Falcon. In the Winter Soldier? When after the elevator scene.
Are you talking about the with the flying thing, like on the motorcycle?
Okay.
The helicarrier scene.
They're in the car with the guy from Hydra that they kidnapped,
right.
And they're talking about how they're going to use him to get back into
the highway
S.H.I.E.L.D.
scene.
Oh, the highway
And
scene.
then they roll up on them, and it's like I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think it went something like 7 or 8 minutes of just straight fighting. For me, I liked. Okay, so.
So, do you have that scene? Do you have the highway scene?
No, not that one.
That's a great fucking scene. No, I don't.
Scene.
Yeah.
So,
that was one that I purposely had to say, I got to make a cut, and that was one of them. Yeah.
It was Cap 2, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for me, what I liked about the scene was, I'm a sucker for action movies. So, like the guns and the explosion in the car, like I think they did a little bit of everything, and the camera choreography for that whole scene, I really liked it because I don't think it gave me kind of like a Bourne movies vibe. It was super clean, super crisp, and
Well, that whole movie was pretty much Bourne. Very Bourne.
right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the big blockbuster choices that I made for further down my mountain, and and then of course it's like the big reveal that Bucky's alive. And I think that for me, like, so that's
the culmination one that it's Cap and Bucky first come across each other, right?
Well, no, because he first sees him on the rooftop.
Well, okay, but I mean, like,
the first
where
fight
Bucky
that they have.
takes the shield from him.
No, Bucky
No.
took
And
the
throws
shield.
it
No.
in the van.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
but that wasn't the first because he caught the shield on the rooftop.
On the rooftop,
Yeah.
right.
but he
The
doesn't-
knife
but
play in that
Captain-
scene.
knife
is
play, that's what I was
so
gonna
But
say.
amazing.
Captain America doesn't know that it's Bucky.
Right,
until
right.
he
Up until
rips
the end, right.
Or like the last 30 seconds of that scene.
But that
But
knife
yeah, the
scene,
knife scene. Black Widow has a great hand to hand with Bucky in that fight too.
Yeah.
Falcon, I think.
And you see some of her like deception in there with
Yeah,
the
with the
little
voice recorder.
Yeah. Oh man.
And she
That's
pulls out
awesome.
the gorilla.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I think this is the first time we see Falcon with his wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
They make a big to do
Like
about
a
his
reveal
interest.
of that.
Yeah.
It was right before that. It was when they kidnapped the guy.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the same thing. I mean, that scene is like 30 seconds before this scene. So,
But what's great about that is that you get the excitement of that scene, and you see Falcon and this guy Sitwell was telling them the whole plan, and then
Out of nowhere, yeah.
and then everything calms down. They're in the car, and then like you said, that camera work where it's just you're looking at him in the car, everything's very calm, and then just gets ripped out of the back. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it goes like from 0 to holy shit. And so for me it was that the camera work was super different than the other vibes of it wasn't superhero-ish.
That was the
at
Russo brothers. I think that was the first one they directed.
And the big reveal for me was I think for me, because I watched all of these movies in the phase order before we watched Endgame, so in my head is like a benchmark of when things.
you didn't watch it in the phase order. You watched it in chronological. You watched it in, chronological order, not phase. Phase is date of release.
Oh, I thought phases was story.
Phase is date of release.
Well, then I've been using the wrong words, but that's what I meant. So, anyway. So
Sorry,
that's
you're
my
not a
number
writer,
4.
so it's fine.
Every list that I Google has given, when I Google the movie franchises, it says this movie franchise, and story wise, it gives it to me in phases. So I'm going off
the phases is release date.
No, they give me phase 1, and then they give me everything in story order.
Yeah, but that's incorrect. Phase one is the Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America.
Yeah, in order of release.
Order of release. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is that, but what you're talking about is that you did it in order of chronological of story.
Because you started with Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
But I'm agreeing.
So then
with
that's
you.
not.
No, I'm saying.
But when I Googled it,
I get you.
And I even asked you for reference, and you're like, yeah, these are the phases in the story. So whatever.
Okay.
I guess
I feel you, boo.
I read the wrong word.
It's all good, boo boo.
But anyways, that's my number 4. Also, I really love Captain America and Natasha's relationship.
I think they should have hooked up.
I wanted to throw it. Yeah, but I love that they didn't though.
I feel like she saw America's ass at some point.
Red balls. Was there? I didn't pick up on it, but I don't have a radar for this shit. But was there like sexual tension ever in between those two? Because I didn't see it
in the movie.
What?
Yeah.
What? The whole time they're talking about first kisses.
Yeah.
Is that your first kiss, and that was that good? Was it not good? That's not sexual tension to you.
Yeah.
You out of your fucking mind? What?
That's what you do with your brother.
Yeah. Me and Missy have never done that.
This got weird. Error.
No, that's sexual tension. Yeah, absolutely. They literally kiss. How is that not sexual tension?
But they're trying to get away from the people that are trying to kill them. This is like a distraction.
Okay, sure.
But it's not like you're.
If there was a distraction, are you and me gonna kiss?
Kill me.
Exactly. So, there you go. That's my point.
Kill me
I'd
dead.
rather fuck a coconut. So that's what's gonna happen.
Wow, I'd rather fuck a coconut.
It's not the first time he said that.
It's a callback to another.
There's even like earlier than that when she's talking about the Winter Soldier, that she says that she shot through her to kill the target, and that now she's got a scar. And he says, "Yeah, I bet you look terrible in bikinis now."
Yeah,
like there's all these comments that they keep throwing at each other.
Yeah. And even in Age of Ultron, when he makes a reference to Banner, saying Banner's like, "Oh, it's only work related," and then Banner's like, he goes, "Oh, she keeps giving you looks," and Banner goes, "No, it's work related." And he goes, "Trust me, I know when it's work related. It's not that." And
but I thought that he was referencing Peggy.
And then Banner was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?
Where is this?
Is this in
Age of Ultron?
Age of Ultron, in the party before Ultron gets created, in the big party. Yeah,
I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Well, I never caught
when
that.
Mark Ruffalo ends up with his face in her chest.
I just thought they were bros, and I really liked that friendship, but you guys just ruined it because you made it dirty.
I mean, ultimately, it was just a friendship.
Ultimately, it was, but there was tension.
There's flirting there.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm gonna scratch all my notes then.
But that's her style.
Yeah, that's her style.
Well, because Scarlett Johansson's like impossibly hot, so I feel like if she had a paper bag over her head, she'd be flirting.
But it's not only that. It's Black Widow. Natasha is she can never stop being a spy.
Correct.
So the whole point of Captain America 2 is that she does whatever it takes and says whatever it takes to get what she wants or what she needs. And Cap is the whole time trying to tell her, that's why I can't trust you, because I don't know where I stand with you. And then she's had to fight her whole. That's why at the end of that movie, it's a big deal when she's out in the Senate, is because she's had to go against her entire life's training to be like, okay, now I'm out in the open, and now I'm going to give it to you straight. That's a big deal.
That's why that scene when they're in Falcon's house and they're having that conversation about, would you have trusted me? And he says, I do now.
Yeah.
That's where their relationship changes. And notice that flirtation is not there anymore after that. They're partners at that point.
Maybe I think you're right on that one. All right. So that's number 4 for Missy. Number 4.
Nice, strong number 4.
Well, now I have to remove all the notes that I have in my phone.
My number 4 is Thor versus Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Table.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I figured it would be.
Thor versus Pretty Hulk.
So hot. So, stupid hot.
He got his eyebrows did, man.
Yep.
Anyways, all right. So, Jeffrey?
My number 4 is Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket at the end of Ant-Man.
That's not going to be on anybody else's list.
I love that. I love that fight. I think it's a great fight.
That is one of those.
I don't think.
Hold on, Missy. Hold on. So at the end of Ant-Man, when they're
I saw it. I just don't know if it's from the first one or the second one.
It's the first one.
Oh, okay.
When they're tiny and they're fighting on the Thomas the Tank engine set.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the fight you're going for? I thought that you were going for the fight in the helicopter.
Well, it kind of.
I mean, it all kind of
depends into
No,
one,
that's
but
a huge. There's literally a dog, like they go into the swimming pool,
Right.
And then he gets arrested, and then he goes to the house. I mean, that's two different scenes.
But I'm going towards the. I don't need to come out of those two. I'm going more towards the Thomas the Tank, just because the two of them inside there, you're seeing this epic fight up close, and then it pans back, and you just see the little train just moving,
and he just gets hit,
and it just when it's moving around, and then when Yellow Jacket gets thrown in front of it, and he's going no, and then you see the shot, and the train just goes bloop.
Yeah.
And just falls over. Like, I just thought it was a mix of such an epic fight between the two of them. Lasers shooting everywhere. Ant-Man's throwing all these things. He's throwing those old wooden blocks that I had when I was a kid at him. He's throwing all this. All the ants are attacking him because he runs out of the carpet.
Yeah.
And he thinks, Yellow Jacket just thinks it's him. And he's like, it's not just me. And you see just the army of ants running alongside him. And then it's just this epicness. And then you pan back and it's just a little kid's room.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like anything's going on. And I just absolutely love that. And then he gets big, and then that's when he shrinks into and he goes through the molecules, and that's the first time he goes subatomic, I think,
into the quantum realm,
and just starts messing him up from the inside. Like, I just thought it was a cool fight, and visually seeing that epicness, but then in reality when it's scaled out, it's
it was very
not
cheeky.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I just love that. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
You could definitely see Edgar Wright's pen
Yeah.
in that scene.
That was completely an Edgar Wright thing that they left in there. I just, it's not an epic scale fight, but it's just, especially with the kind of stuff I like I thought it was just great, that mix of the epicness up close, and then when you look back, it's just like a little drop on a lake.
Yeah.
You know? So I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It's a great fight.
That's a good one. Neri's deciding right now.
Well, no, I have the list. I'm just trying to figure out. All right, I will go with. I guess I'll go with Hulkbuster versus Hulk in
Table.
Age of Ultron.
Table.
Right. Okay. So number 4s. Let me just write this down.
I knew I wasn't going to go for a perfect mountain when I put Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket.
Doesn't he call her Veronica the Hulkbuster? Go to sleep.
So number 4s, we have the highway scene from Captain 2. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Sorry, jeez.
Continue.
Isn't that the one where all this stuff happens? Let me tell you.
Let's talk about it now. Let's mention things. Highway scene.
Just because I'm a woman, I can't make a mistake. Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's the main reason. Highway scene from Cap 2. I'm assuming it's the Coliseum scene from Thor versus Hulk in Ragnarok. Thomas the Tank scene, Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man, and Hulkbuster versus Hulk in
Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Number 4. Number 3, Missy.
Also a Captain America pick from Civil War, the airport scene.
Okay.
Nothing?
I thought you said you weren't going to choose huge scenes.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Airport scene.
That's
an amazing fight.
That's a great fight.
Yeah, so so it's I didn't see Ant-Man until a few weeks ago. So for me, this was my first introduction to Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, which I thought was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think for me this episode
No, was it?
For me.
Oh, wait, because you saw this before you did your marathon.
No, when Ant-Man came out in theaters, I didn't.
No, but you saw Cap 3 before you went through your marathon.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So
because even in the marathon, even in the order you did it, you still would have seen Ant-Man first. But you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the hero versus hero thing, but for me, what stands out aside from like the amazing action from the moment when Captain goes suit up to when they actually get out of there, is that I just saw the scene now before coming here, and you can see Tony's desperation, which had been plaguing him since the very first Avengers, where he's like desperately trying to keep the ship afloat, and he needs Cap to cooperate, and he can't, and it's making him like desperate for some kind of for him to roll over, and I think that his intention there is for the greater good, is to fight that thing that plagues him until the very end, which is to make sure that he doesn't watch his friends die. It's also, I think, the first intro we get to the new Spider-Man.
Yep.
all that banter is so fucking
It's
great.
fucking fantastic.
It
Him
makes
and Cap.
it makes
It's
such a
spectacular.
It's amazing.
Nice.
That's what you said, amazing.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why I said spectacular.
it's the banter.
Sorry.
The banter makes the whole action because
of another
the action is like
That's it, pretty much.
the action is so heavy that the banter kind of lightens the mood a little bit, even though it's like really fucking stressful because your heroes are fighting each other.
Thanos wasn't there.
I like the point. I like also when Hawkeye and Black Widow are fighting, and then Scarlet Widow comes and like does something to like
Scarlet
spin-
Witch?
Scarlet Witch, sorry. I always get them crossed. And she does something to Black Widow where she spins her and like knocks her out, and she looks at Hawkeye and she goes, "You were pulling your punches." And she runs
That's
away.
right.
So I don't know. I just thought that it was really good, and for me,
That's right. She still had an accent in this one.
Yeah.
Before she lost
She
it.
fa-
Magically.
yeah.
No,
and-
I understand. She lost it in Cap 3. Not Cap 3.
Infinity War.
No,
Infinity
technically she lost it.
When she lost her brother.
In she lost it in the beginning of that one of Cap 3 is where she lost it when they're doing the stakeout and she's learning how to be a spy. That's where she lost it. And the Russo's brothers' defense was she's trying to blend in. She's learning to be a spy, so she's losing the accent.
Okay.
So I was okay with that. I just forgot that at the end of that movie she had that accent again. I'm like, well, why is she fucking having it? She fucking lost it.
And another good line that she has in that scene is when she could Tony kind of blocks her. She goes, "You put me in my room" or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah, bitch,
Yeah.
you did."
But no,
That's so funny because I was thinking the other way around. I was like, "Yeah, Tony, you did. Go ahead, Tony."
Of course, you did.
Put it
Also, giant Ant-Man.
But then you have Black Panther and Winter Soldier come face to face again.
Everyone had an equal in that fight.
The Falcon Bucky like competing
And
for
with
Cap's affection
and
thing.
Spider-Man
I loved.
against the two of them.
Yeah.
Was in that little terminal.
Is
was
that
great.
titanium?
Yeah.
No, is that a metal arm?
You got
That's
a metal
it. Yeah,
arm?
that's it. Yeah.
Whoa!
and then when he gets him,
Have you guys ever seen this really old movie? It's called The Empire Strikes Back.
well, I think there's Falcon does something with his arm that sends Spidey flying out of there, and then it's
He
just a
sends
shot-
out Red Wing. Yeah.
It's a shot of Bucky and Falcon on the floor, and Bucky goes, "You couldn't have done that to begin with," and
he's like,
Falcon
"I
goes,
hate you."
"I hate you." Yeah. So, and this fight was good for me. I felt like everyone had their counter. Like you knew, like War Machine was gonna fight Falcon. Bucky was gonna fight
Astonishing.
Black Panther. Like it's almost like it worked out, but. What?
No,
Spider-Man was astonishing.
We're looking for another adjective for Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought he was just commenting on what I was like.
You're like,
Thank you.
Right? I don't know. Astonishing.
I guess.
But overall, besides the awesome fighting and the banter and the whatever and the rant, for me that scene
Sensational.
is a moment where it became obvious to me that Tony's like desperate to keep everybody alive, and that's why he's doing what he's doing, but he desperately is trying to plead with, and I don't
Superior.
think we've seen vulnerability to Iron Man up until that point, until
not
that
true.
airport scene.
That's not
No,
true.
you
When
seen-
it comes to the Avengers, I don't think that we had seen it yet.
No, we saw it in Ultron.
Okay.
I agree. Which there's that callback.
I got
in
callback.
Endgame.
In Endgame, that
Yeah.
whole scene when he's like, "I want to put a suit of armor around the world."
No matter the cost or whatever that
vulnerability,
line is,
He was
yeah.
like when Scarlet Witch did her
But it
voodoo
didn't
magic.
work, so that's why he's even more desperate now.
Yeah, but you said we hadn't seen it.
Well, I guess I hadn't seen it on this level. I thought in Ultron, to me, I thought he was trying to be like an overprotective parent, basically. But I felt a different way about this time, seeing it this time.
Yeah, I get it. It's a great scene. I mean, my problem with that scene is that the Russo brothers, what they did later on was much better as far as Infinity War and Endgame, where they split up the fights where we could actually care about certain characters
And you
more.
could see 'em.
And you could see them. And I feel like in the airport scene, I was just like, I thought it was cool at the moment, but when I went back to rewatch it during the marathon before Endgame, I was just like, okay.
My biggest issue with that, and of course it's just the nature of the movies and how far they had come along until that point, which of course at that point it was amazing, is if you've read the comics, it's really underwhelming. It's underwhelming to see.
No, but like we literally see
six guys going against six guys as opposed to the hundreds that you see in Civil War. Like what we saw in Endgame. That's what the Civil War comic book event was. Yeah, it was massive. Massive
movie.
Like
Hawkeye, exactly.
Hawkeye dies in the Civil War. Like there's like a huge emotional thing with Hawkeye.
Yeah, I have it. If you don't, and I'll lend it to you. It's a great read, absolutely great read
right now.
But yeah, so it's a little underwhelming when you go back to look at it, but it's still a great fight.
But is it underwhelming because of you have the comic book to compare it to, or
100%? 100%. That's the only reason why. No, because there's nothing wrong with
the fight. If there wasn't a comic book to compare it to, that would be a really cool. Like it's still a cool fight.
That's why I think it's great because
it's still a really cool fight. But
yeah,
and you see Giant Man for the first. Oh my
god, Giant Ant-Man was so, and his face, he's like, oh my god, I can't believe it worked.
But I am.
Why is everything moving so slow?
Yeah.
Two things. A, that's the same reason why if you read the comics, Infinity War was underwhelming, and it's the same reason why, like the Winter Soldier, like you go, oh, we got the big reveal that it was Bucky. We're like, yeah, no, but we all knew. Like,
yeah, we knew
anybody
it was
who was the comics. But when you read the comics, his name is Winter Soldier. Like that's his code name is Winter Soldier. So Bucky's.
Right.
So we knew that was Winter. Like,
but is the reveal anywhere like? It
wasn't a reveal for us.
So like the thing is,
no, she's saying in the
comic books, it's almost exactly the same.
Yeah,
like there's shots in that movie that are panel for panel.
Because you had read the comic.
Oh yeah. When you read the comics, he had been dead for
that big reveal, and we were like, yeah,
like you've got the casual fan like that. What goes into the theater and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that was
spoiler alert. Winter Soldier. We're like, yes, that's not a spoiler. It's in the fucking title. Winter Soldier. No, that's like literally,
and it happened 10 years before. In
that's
the comics.
Like literally naming a movie Captain America: Bucky Lives. Like that to us is what you named it, and we were like, okay,
here comes Bucky,
and here comes
like
Bucky.
You're just giving us the greatest Captain America story ever written. That's fine. Go ahead, tell it.
I mean,
Well, right.
Stopping Nazis.
That's why, I guess, for me, that going back to my number 4 pick, it was such a big reveal because I'm legit.
No, you're a newbie. I get it. I understand.
I'm legit a movie person. I'm a legit an MCUer, not a comic book
No, we
person,
get, and again, this is not me geek shaming, and I'm saying, I'm just explaining.
Like
but when Ant-Man turned to Giant Man, I asked Dave. He was sitting right next to me. I had the same exact reaction that Spider-Man did. I literally said, "Oh shit!" And as I was the only one in the theater that said it. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then 5 seconds, not even a split second later, Spidey goes, "Oh shit!" And everybody laughed because that was like right after. And I said that shit out loud. You know how I am in movies. I'm like, "Oh shit, yo, this shit is happening!" And then fucking Spidey said it, and I was like, "Yeah."
You weren't here, but you missed it every time that Star-Lord came out during Endgame. Neri was from his chair. Boo! Boo! I was like, they're gonna kill us.
You saw it with us.
I saw it with you.
Yeah, but he was like,
I was.
Did you not hear me? Because that was the point. I was trying to fucking.
I did. I heard you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that was the point. I was trying to get to Christy. I was trying to fucking reach Christy. Boo! Boo! Like I was trying to get. Yeah. That's what I was exactly what I was doing.
She didn't hear. That's why I didn't think you did.
Oh.
But she was sitting on the other side of the theater. I was sitting towards the front of the theater, but on the same side.
Yeah.
But just so the if you're listening, that's what going to the movies with Neri is like. He's just gonna yell shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a black guy. I'm just saying, I have black friends. We go to the movies together.
No, walking
I talk.
Danger.
This is not a negative thing. First of all, it's not negative, and B, it's a joke, but kind of not really because that's what I do. But I don't do it all the time. There was one time. Remember what movie was it that we watched that you were like, I was expecting you to talk and you were quiet as a mouse. I was trying to figure out what the fuck. Oh, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Oh, that was
the first movie we ever saw together. Me and Jeff ever saw together in theaters was Assassin's Creed, and then the very next movie I forgot what it was.
Black Panther.
Panther. That I want to stop talking.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I was expecting Assassin's Creed Neri, not Black Panther Neri. And I was like, he goes, you were so quiet in Assassin's Creed. I'm like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I couldn't figure it out. I was trying
Black Panther, the moment like the opening scene comes on, he's like, Lion King.
When's Mufasa gonna come out, motherfucker? Like I was just
you see the Starry Night in the voiceover, and it's like Lion King.
You spoke during Justice League too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but my speaking during Justice League was like, ooh, like
yeah.
Really? Is that why the guy was like, oh, we have a comedian in the house?
That was the trailers.
Oh, it's all blurry.
Yeah, it was the trailers. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I know there's people that hate.
And then Vanessa, we actually do.
Actually, yes, he is. So yeah, anyways. All right, so airport scene, Cap 3. So Dave,
My number 3, and I'm 100% certain I'm going to be the only one who has this one, is the Avengers versus the Maximoff twins from Age of Ultron.
That's a good pick.
that's a good pick.
This is the closest thing to like a large scale fight that I have. What I love about this fight is that it's really an unconventional fight.
This is with Ultron in. With
Ultron starts off in it, yeah, and then
Yeah.
Iron Man and Ultron go off fighting
it's part of the same
outside of
fight.
the. Yeah, it's part of the same fight.
Yeah.
But my favorite aspect of the fight, as awesome as that is, and Ultron ultimately delivers his plan to Iron Man, very classic James Bond villain-esque, But my favorite aspect of that fight is Scarlet Witch fucking with everyone's head.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, and it's
everybody except Hawkeye.
that's true. Yeah,
That's fucking great when he goes. I've been brainwashed before.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan.
yeah,
and
then
fucked
he
it up. Yeah,
yeah, he sticks the little thing, and that pisses Quicksilver off.
Yeah.
But
But he got over it quickly.
I was gonna go with he has a quick temper. Bad temper.
But we get a lot of really important stuff out of
A lot of foreshadowing.
a lot of foreshadowing. We get the Cap dancing with
Peggy,
which of course starts off as like a weird sort of like mixture of horror with people dead and like
It was very
laughing.
Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah, very Twilight Zone-y. But then,
But good.
they are dancing. We get the only background we've ever gotten from Black Widow. We get Thor.
not really. There's another. There's a callback to that Black Widow moment and Peggy Carter, and there's TV show Peggy Carter,
Agent Carter?
and Agent Carter. I'm sorry, in the Red Room. There's a callback. That's a callback to Agent Carter series that had just aired that episode, like around that time frame. I only know that because I didn't watch that show because it was awful. But
I watched it and liked it, but I don't remember this.
yeah, I only know that because Mercadal told me. He goes, "Oh, that's the Red Room," and I'm like, I don't know. So he explained to me that that's where they take the agents to like basically brainwash them completely, and then the
Right.
female agents get
Sterilized.
sterilized.
Yeah.
And I again
makes sense.
only know that because of Mercadal.
Well, and then
I wasn't watching that show
Thor's vision sends him on that quest,
to find out what's happening to.
and that's where we discover the Infinity Stones,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen in that scene, but it leads to it. So there's a lot of really interesting things. We see a lot of Quicksilver's powers for the first time in that scene, and immediately before it with Claw.
No.
Yeah.
We saw it before when he tripped Hawkeye and he goes, "Oh, you didn't see that coming?"
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I get you. I feel
One
you.
thing.
I'm not trying. I feel like this episode I've been that guy to be like, no, actually, and I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just be like, well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But also go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but also you're wrong. But I'm not trying to be that guy to make like you're. I don't want to make you feel guy. I don't know.
As I was saying,
My explaining of this is making me sound more like an asshole than I'm intentionally being.
in your defense,
Quicksilver didn't see coming. Bullets.
Lots of them.
Lots of bullets.
as I was saying it, I was already realizing I was wrong because he took all the bullets out of Claw's gun just before the fight started. So, but yeah,
He took the bullets out of him.
I love I love how cool
so
that fight is. I love the Scarlet
I
Witch
love the
aspect
fact
to
that he
it.
tried to grab the hammer.
Oh yeah, then he just
And
gets
then
going with it.
Yeah, because he had no idea. He's like, oh, I'll just grab this and throw it back to him. He's like, no, bitch.
It's
Doll is not worthy.
You're going for a ride.
it's a great fight. We don't see much of Quicksilver throughout the whole MCU.
I love Ultron in that scene too because he gets super mad and he's a robot that has emotion and he gets super mad and he cuts off Klaus's arm and he goes, I'm sorry. That's on me. That was
My bad.
that was, and I love that whole thing.
Spader's amazing in that movie.
I love that movie. I think that movie gets it gets underrated very much.
I think I told you that I watched it again before seeing Endgame, and it moved up a couple notches.
I love
for
that
me.
movie for me. I honestly, I remember watching that movie and going like, what, but whatever. That's it. I don't want to talk about what I was about to say because it's already been tabled. But
Okay.
number 3, Avengers versus Ultron and the Twins on Age of Ultron. Right?
Well, we can talk about it, Hunter.
All right.
My number 3 is Hulk versus the Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron.
Right on. And that's what I was about to say now, just to
That's why-
continue
boom.
that thought, is when people talked about Age of Ultron, and they're like, "Hey, did it really?" And they were like, about it. And I was like, I remember saying this out loud, saying like it's better than Avengers, and they're like, "How the everybody?" Like I was a man on an island, and with that statement during the time when that movie came out, and I said, Captain America did more than fucking flip a switch in Age of Ultron, and I'm not even a fucking Captain America fan, and I needed more from him in the original Avengers, which I loved, by the way, FYI. But Age of Ultron, I feel like he did so much more, and his leadership was in full display there.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that
Well,
he
you finally
fought-
have a fully functional team.
not only that, but he fucking fought Ultron hand to hand, one on one, man on man, on a fucking truck. I was like, God damn, come on! And on top of that, you have Hulkbuster, and I was like, did the original Avengers have Hulkbuster? Then what the fuck are we talking about here? Because that scene in itself.
Did they
was
have
a
anything
fucking,
that could stand up to the Hulk?
Yeah.
No? Then shut the fuck up.
Well, they had Thor.
Well, they had a Thor.
They had a Thor. With that,
But even then, Thor
Got punched by the Hulk.
got knocked the fuck
Knocked
out
out,
the next
yeah.
week from the
Yeah.
Hulk. But dude, that fight, growing up, when even in the trailers, when the trailers just showed like the clips of it,
Yeah.
of the
when
Hulkbuster, I was like,
when the trailer showed the clip of Hulkbuster in Iron Man 3, which came out before this movie, I was like, oh my, just fucking, oh my god, we're gonna get Hulkbuster, and all Hulkbuster did in Iron Man 3 was hold up a fucking a cargo, whatchamacallit.
yeah, at the end, right?
Yeah, at the end, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he called him Igor.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I mean, but we wanted more. I mean, technically, you gave us what we saw in the trailer, so you're not fucking us around.
But there was just the moment that you see Hulk just on the street, and then Tony just calls it. What was it that he called in? I'm trying to remember the phrase he said.
Veronica.
Veronica, that's what it was.
Yeah, Veronica.
And
I didn't want to say it because I messed it up the last few minutes ago.
No,
but he says Veronica, and then just the suit comes in.
And I love the fact that they if you catch it in a briefly in one sentence, in one statement, what's his name? Banner said, "Oh, I helped design Veronica."
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie, before we know what the fuck Veronica is, so he helped design.
Yeah, because there's that scene where Tony says maybe there's a world where we don't need a Veronica.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, you finally get this just epicness of the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk, and it's funny.
I love that line where
Go to sleep.
where
Yeah.
he
Go to
said,
sleep.
well, that's the best, I think, line in the whole fight. But there's one line where he says, hey, big guy, I'd like to talk to Banner now or something. And he throws a car at him. He goes, get it? Don't mention Beauty Banner. Great throwback to the old 70s show.
Yeah,
you know?
and also when he this is classic to me. Tony Stark showing how big your dick is type of shit is when he wants to throw the Hulk down that building, and he knows it's going to destroy that building, and he says, Veronica, how quickly can we buy this building? And he fucking buys the building before he destroys it.
So great.
And to me, I'm just like, that's just classic Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You know, fucking dick. Like, yeah, that's how. Yeah. And it instantly, he's like, just buy the building. Like,
I love that scene where the elevator's dropping down and he catches it right, and he goes, everybody off. There's so much Tony in.
well, that's what I love about Iron Man fights in general is that there's so much banter and quick wit. You know, Iron Man 3 has that great fight where he's in that town and the fucking people with the extremists are coming at him, and that lady, and he goes, "Oh, all you had was a one night stand." I forget what the phrase was. It was like a one night stand and a sharp shot or whatever. And he goes, "Lady, that could be the name of my autobiography." Like that, it was so. I'm like, fuck, goddamn, it was so good. And I'm massacring it because I don't remember verbatim. But Hulkbuster to me, I mean, when he took the arm, something that we saw again later on. We saw in Infinity War when he did that to the
rocket arm.
Yeah, the rocket arm. I just love everything about that. And he goes, "Oh, I need a hand," and another fucking hand comes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was great, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you see Hulk at probably his scariest, I think.
Because he's just
That's
He's never, I think,
Unhinged.
angrier. Yeah, he's never more
Completely
unhinged than there.
And
I mean, I say
Because he has a
scariest.
woman in his fucking head. That's the problem.
He was
What?
Draconis. Dracarys.
Who's
in sorry, I got a little crazy there. In the first Avengers though, when he's on the ship, he does that Cam.
He does, and that was the moment I was waiting for in that
That's
first Avengers
Hulk.
movie.
That's Hulk at his Hulk.
Yeah.
This scene that Neri's talking about is like Hulk on steroids.
Yeah, it's rage.
Yeah,
It's
it's
rage.
pure rage.
And that entire scene to me is epic. I love it. But what stands out to me is that moment where he starts to come down and he realizes for Bruce Banner / the Hulk, like the last thing that the thing he's fighting against is being that scary monster, and he just like him coming out of it realizing that he's become exactly like his worst nightmare in that moment was like a good play, because I didn't know that Hulk had like range of emotions other than fucking anger and rage. But he's like, you could see him like understanding the gravity of what he was just a part of.
You wouldn't like it when he's gassy.
I mean, no.
But yeah, so that's my number 3.
Right on. All right. Yeah, that was my number 4.
Party on, Garth.
Was it number 4?
No.
You're 4.
Yeah, that was my 4. Right. My number 3 is Iron Man versus Whiplash on the racetrack. Iron Man 2.
Fucking knew it. I knew it.
Well, I've told you this multiple times.
Oh, I didn't think. I thought it was going to be a joke.
No, I love that scene.
I could pee.
Oh wow.
Oh, all right.
Damn.
What?
No, it's fine.
I'm not gonna pee. Jeez.
Well, you're the next pick, so you better go pee.
Oh yeah, you gotta go pee.
Yeah, if you're gonna go now.
Yeah, the Iron Man first of all, Iron Man 2 is one of my favorite movies. It ranks in my top 5. Get it? I'm a man on an island in that
You're
pick.
not, though.
That's fine.
Because I rewatched it and I dug Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I love Iron Man 2.
After rewatching it, I liked it, whereas I didn't like it before.
I have an honorable mention from Iron Man 2.
So Iron Man 2, and then that racetrack scene to me was everything. That was my wallpaper. Him in the suitcase suit was my wallpaper on my phone. That was like
cool.
That's my favorite Iron Man suit.
Give me the case.
Give me the case.
Give me the case. Where's the key? Where's the key?
Yeah, I just everything. I mean everything about that from the moment he's in the race car suit, doing in Monaco, and he's doing all of that shit, and then Whiplash coming out. In that slow motion, and it
just burns away,
and he's walking towards the fucking race cars, and people are like, what the fuck is happening? Like, that's crazy shit. Everything from that scene from a visual standpoint is great, but to cap it all off is he goes at the end, which is technically not the same scene anymore. We're going to another scene now, but he goes, you took your shot and you missed, and he goes, did I?
Yeah.
If you make God bleed, people don't. People bleed. Cease to believe in him.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I was like, oh shit, he won without winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted. He wanted to kill him, but if he didn't kill him, he knows that people out there already know that it's possible to duplicate that kind
and
of.
And it was funny because like you see Pepper and Happy go out driving against the cars. Like
they split the car in half. Yeah. I was like, holy fuck! That was visually it was stunning to me. The suit was one of my favorite fucking suits. The fact that he wrapped his arm around the whips to me was again just visually. I love that fucking scene a lot. But again, Man on an Island, man. I totally get that movie in general is not regarded as high as most
no
movies.
Mandarin, but it's no Mandarin, but
is 2
Jesus
ranked
Christ.
higher than 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, I think most casual fans, if movie fans, like 3 better than 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Movie fans. The reason
comic book fans
hate it is because they destroy the character of the Mandarin that in the comic books is so
amazingly
powerful and well written, and
he's his Red Skull.
Right.
Yeah, and then to us in the movies, they gave us that Mandarin for half the movie, where it was looking to be a
and up until that point, I was all in.
And then even me that I like Iron Man 3, I had to like it for different reasons. I had to look for reasons to like it, which is not just the Iron Man versus. To me, Iron Man 3 became a not Iron Man versus Whiplash or Iron Man versus the Mandarin. To me, Iron Man 3 became Iron Man Tony fighting with a post-traumatic stress, and that take to me got me to appreciate the movie.
That was one of the only things that I can still look back on the movie now after all these years and say I like that aspect of the movie.
Yeah.
They took the Demon in the Bottle story, which is one of the most iconic Iron Man stories, and they did it justice by turning it into PTSD as opposed to alcoholism.
Right. And I thought it was fantastic. So, but again, it took me a while because I was one of those people that when the movie first came out, after the movie, I was like, "What?" I just couldn't. It took me a while to get over what they did to the Mandarin. And then you go, "Okay, this is what they went with." Again, it's part of that. This is the ride. It's not the ride that I was expecting.
Right.
But did I enjoy the ride? I'm like, "Fuck!" I wanted 4 loops, and instead I got twists and turns instead of loops. And so this is one of those movies that helped me realize, not just on movies but on TV shows like Game of Thrones or whatever, it's like I'm gonna stop trying to predict what the ride's gonna be and just gonna enjoy the ride from here on out.
Well, and enjoy what there is to enjoy.
Or don't enjoy it, but not try to predict what the ride's gonna be. And that's the problem with something that has such a strong and long source material, is that I gotta forget that I've read that. So I got to forget about the Mandarin from the comics. So
and enjoy what there is to enjoy in there. There's plenty to enjoy.
Yeah.
That free fall scene is still one of my favorite scenes in the whole MCU.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a cop out when he wasn't controlling the suit. I was like, oh.
I thought it was funny.
No, it was meant to be. That's what they were going for.
The whole scene up until that point is just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's heart pounding.
And when he fucking literally shoots out of his chest and he goes, recover from that. Oh, so fucking good. That was murder, Tony.
Murder, she wrote.
Murder, she wrote. That would be a button. All right, so Iron Man versus Whiplash on the track is my number 3. So number 3 is our airport scene from Captain America 3, Avengers versus Ultron and the Twins and Age of Ultron, Hulkbuster versus Hulk in Age of Ultron, and Iron Man versus Whiplash on the track in Iron Man 2. Number 2. Missy.
My number 2.
Missy.
Yep.
Oh man, it could be like Timmy, but Missy. Missy.
I've been doing that for like
fucking 11 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Missa. On like a variation of all of that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
she loves it.
I don't. Avengers: Infinity War, the battle at Wakanda.
Okay.
No one.
No.
Okay.
I said I had no large scale battles.
Same.
Looks like
It's a great battle. It's a great battle.
It's a fantastic battle. To me, what makes that battle is Thor.
Oh yeah,
Thor Peters. That to me.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about the battle is dope, though. Don't get me
These
wrong.
are my
But
friends.
that's a different level.
That was actually.
Oh, I love that. I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. No matter how many times I see
No,
it.
I see you copied my beard thing.
Yeah. There's like the thing is there's so much in that scene, in that general.
So what stands out to me is that it's the culmination, I guess, the part 1 of the culmination of all of these, the entire ride that we've been on, as far as the movies are concerned.
Right.
I felt like it was definitely the scene where we got everybody at their peak, and we still lost. I think I've said that before, and I think that to me is why I like Infinity War, because of that. Because up until that point, there have been hiccups, there have been disagreements, there have been like losses, like toward like leading up to the big win. But this entire movie is a giant loss from start to end. But we still see everybody at their peak.
I disagree that that's the first time we see that.
Civil War.
Civil War has a
lost.
very like low point ending.
Everybody lost.
Yeah, everyone loses.
Everybody's either in jail.
The villain loses. No, not on the scale.
No,
but
you're right. Yeah, that's another scale. Yeah, every movie keeps getting bigger and bigger. Right. But anyways, so
but
his mom, he finds out his parents were murdered in Infinity War. It's a big deal.
In Infinity War,
no, Civil War.
Yeah,
too many wars.
Right.
Keeps hearing table somewhere. That's so fucking weird.
I thought it was just my headphones.
I thought it was static that was talking to me.
Michael Douglas?
I did have Stormbreaker.
Not Michael Douglas. What am I thinking about? What's his name?
Kurt Douglas?
Michael Keaton. in the movie White Noise.
White Noise.
Oh my God, yeah.
I said Michael Douglas, but I meant Michael Keaton. Wrong, Michael.
Not all Michaels look the same. Okay.
White guys.
I did write down Stormbreaker, which that was an epic introduction to that. Scarlet Witch, like she broke the whole for a lot of reasons, but what I could remember off the top of my head was her killing Vision. Like that whole scene is so gut wrenching, and
fucking beautiful.
Okay, where has she been this whole time?
That was one of my. That's what I was going to see if you mentioned that. It's like, where has she been the whole time?
Why was she up there the whole time?
Yeah. And then of course after the snap or what after the snap,
Saving of the Universe.
we Tony's like worst nightmare, like. Here you go, eat it. Like that, Spidey dies in his arms, like, and that's like
he just died in your arms tonight.
He turned into a pile of dust.
he evaporated.
It must have been something he snapped. He died in your arms.
So yeah, I think that's it for.
You
Avengers
better walk
Infinity War.
away.
Dude, and then Rhodey and Falcon just flying that like Falcon. He's like, stand back, you're gonna burn your wings. And he like just drops like the napalm like from fucking Apocalypse Now across the entrance of the bubble.
Love the smell of napalm in the morning.
We had everybody involved in that, even M'Baku.
M'Baku. My favorite shot about that is when the fight starts and you just see Steve Rogers and T'Challa just
They're the only
just
two.
sprint past everybody, and they're like, there's nobody near them that's on their side, and they don't give a fuck. They're just going straight into the shit.
Those double shields that that T'Challa gave him are fucking awesome.
It's so funny. I was literally about to say I don't like the shields that he has.
Really?
I swear to God,
You don't?
I wasn't even trying to be funny. Like I was about to say it, and then you started talking. I was like, after he makes whatever point he's gonna make, I'm gonna talk about the shields I don't like. And then your fucking point was those shields are awesome. I'm like, what are the fucking awesome? Holy shit!
I fucking love them. They look like little versions of his original shield, just black instead of the red, white, and blue. But I fucking love
Of course, it's
them.
black.
Wakandan is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I just don't like that. That's my one gripe with that whole
for his
thing.
character, because you're not going to have him go in there with he doesn't have a shield going with the fists. You get his fists, which are his ability, have pointy things on
Right.
them.
Yeah, I was just like, that's the best shield you could come up with, Suri?
Oh,
I
and then
guess
that
that was
black,
last minute.
That Black Widow.
She had a lot going on. She was trying to save that guy and that guy and build me a shield. Like there was a lot going on.
Yeah, it would have been fucking nice. It would have been like, I'm only one person.
Yeah, can I get an assistant?
The fuck, I got
What
other
else do you
shit
need?
to- yeah.
What else? What else?
Sandwich?
You want me to solve world hunger?
That would have been hilarious. Oh, I got you a sandwich too. Make sure you get your vitamins in. No, that fight scene was great, but Thor to me, I mean,
Oh, he takes it to another level.
and then Rocket when he was like, he's like, how much for that gun? He's like, I'll get that gun.
No,
He asked for the arm first, but then he asked for the gun.
No, but I'm
was
gonna.
the arm.
He
I'm
goes.
gonna
He
get
goes.
that
He goes.
arm.
How much for the gun? And he goes. He looks at him. He goes, all right. How much for the arm? And he looks at him and he goes, oh, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah,
arm.
I'm gonna get that. So
It's good stuff. That's my number 2.
And it doesn't. Is that the scene where Winter Soldier grabs him
Yeah.
and they spin
They
around
spin
in a
around,
circle
yep.
shooting?
Yeah.
So good. All right.
It was everybody, and then they all died.
That's a great one.
Not all of them. Half of them to save the world. Anyway, Dave, your
My number 2, and now we enter Captain America territory.
Oh, now because I've been talking about him for
Well,
an hour.
on my list,
Oh,
on my
okay.
list, I specifically eschewed the first 2
What
Captain
is
America
it?
ones.
What's your number 2?
Cap V.
The elevator fight.
Yes.
That's also my number 2.
Is it? All right.
Woo! It's an honorable mention for me.
When a fight scene makes you see something similar in a later movie,
Oh my
and
God.
go, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's about to go down.
What?
Literally, the
In
elevator was going
Endgame.
down.
Yeah.
An Endgame, that when all the same exact people that were in the elevator for the elevator scene from Civil War are in the elevator that he walks into in Endgame.
Technically, it wasn't.
Remember, he's gonna
Endgame,
take
he
the
says that he tries to get the thing and he goes, hell hot.
Jasper was there. Jasper wasn't in the.
Well, Jasper wasn't
Jasper was there. What's his name?
Sorry, 3 of the not same people were in. Not.
Yeah,
in
but there was 2 of the main bad guys.
Yeah, the 2, Frank Rizzo and the other guy, with the slick back hair.
Yeah, I don't remember
the guy from
his name.
The guy from Batman vs Superman.
Right, but Crossbones.
Yeah. Crossbones and.
But it's just you see like that scene.
There's so much tension in that fucking
build up
scene, man.
because it's just Frank Rizzo walks in first, I think, with one other person, and he actually asked Cap. He's like, "Hey, I forgot what exactly was he asked for, but he's like, "Hey, that thing, that whatever. What do you want?" And he goes, "Oh, just keep me up on the loop." And you can already see Cap's kind of like, okay,
yeah,
just kind of
because he goes, okay, thanks, and he turns around, and then just slowly as people start coming in, Cap starts feeling unsettled.
Yeah, he looks.
Until he starts noticing like the sweat on their face.
Somebody's grabbing at the.
Someone's undoing the latch on their holster. Fuck.
And then he just gets
a little racist. Just you get nervous around people that are sweating, huh? You guys go, okay.
But then you just see him like he's just
I mean, you were right at the end, but I'm just saying ultimately.
And then they're just facing the same way, and Cap literally just like, before we get started, does anybody want to get off? I'm like,
that's my
shit.
Can I just tell? Did you hear about the guy in Comic-Con that year? That movie came out. That's all he did.
Oh yes, yeah.
He literally rode the elevator just as
just
Captain America, and every fucking ride he goes, "This before we get to start, does anybody want?" He kept all day. He kept fucking doing that all day.
If I looked like Cap, which I'm never going to, I would.
Well,
but
I could have looked like Thor last year. Fucking dumb weight loss. Fucking dumb weight loss.
But and then the fact that like I said, like I was mentioned before, in Endgame, they know the bread and butter. They know how great that scene, because just that it's him against all those guys, and then in Endgame you see that, and then it's, I know your least favorite part, but he drops the Hail Hydra.
I mean, in this case, it wasn't meant to be serious the way it was in the comics, and it was comedic.
Right. Well, I think they did it in this. They did it in Endgame to tongue in cheek the comic.
Exactly.
Right. So
yeah. So I'm okay. I'm okay with a spoof.
It's
yeah.
kind of poking fun at themselves, but I thought it was great.
But then just the close quarters combat and then
extreme close quarters, because I mean the Cap movies have always been about close quarters combat.
Huh? Extreme. All right, we said
astonishing.
We're talking about in an elevator here. Like this isn't even close quarters
it's a pretty
anymore.
big
this
elevator.
is. I mean, it is
it's kind of like
oversized elevator.
Yeah, there was like 37 people in that elevator.
But you're right, man.
And then they use the magnetic bracers because they're like, okay, these are a bunch of regular guys. There's got to be some kind of an edge against a super soldier, even though there's a large number of them. And the way that they incorporated the bracers,
take away an arm and pin them down,
dude. And then they had like the taser of Frank Rizzo, like
I'm
literally
not R. Kelly.
Oh my god!
Drip, 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 pee on you. And then I just loved. That's the thing with Cap, is that. The reason why I think you can easily make a mountain of Cap and nobody, well, except Neri's going to argue about it.
It's because his superpower is hand-to-hand combat.
So it's always.
I mean, it's always his superpower is fighting.
It's like watching
that's his fucking thing
and strategy.
I mean,
but it's like watching that martial arts movie. I love martial arts movies. So when I see the way that they do those, like with Missy, the first pick with the highway fight, him versus Bucky, and that like you said, the knife play, like in this, that close quarters of the like Ip Man when he fights like 20 guys around him.
I went to go buy it, and this guy already had it. But I
have
Ip Man.
I have all 3 of them.
Yeah, I went to go. I didn't buy it before because I was on Netflix, and then now it's not on Netflix anymore. So now I went to go buy it on iTunes, and you already had it.
That's what I did about Turbo Kid, and now that it's not on Netflix, I went to go buy it on iTunes. Guess what? It's not on iTunes anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that checks out, man.
Turbo Kid's great though.
Yeah, you shut your fucking mouth.
I've never heard about it. I've never heard. This sounds like fucking Shark Man and the Volcano Girl, Lava Girl, whatever the fuck
Shark
we're talking
Boy and Lava.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Turbo Kid is fucking amazing.
It's a horror slash.
Yeah,
man.
Right,
Turbo Kid? It's got elements of horror, but really it's
like a Mad Max.
Yeah.
But anyway, either way, so
what a good one.
Jesus.
But yeah, so the elevator scene, man, I think it's one of the more iconic.
Yeah.
Here's I love the elevator scene. I love the phrase that he says. I'm not downing on the elevator scene,
but I'm about to down on the elevator.
No, I just one of the most underrated scenes in that same movie is when Cap goes up against a fucking plane.
It's a great scene. Yeah.
And
it's
does like the
and he
ricochet
fucking-
of
and he
the
does
shield.
the ricochet of the fucking of the shield onto the engine, gets on the fucking plane, gets his shield back, and then goes on the other side while the motorcycle goes on. I'm like,
That's
"Ah."
nice.
And
It's all- it's
sticks
all-
to superhero landing.
But
It's
Yeah.
all
But
the
is that a
same-
fight
it's-
scene?
it's
No,
all the same.
I don't think it's a fight. I'm saying it is a fight scene. It's him
the
versus
whole-
a plane.
No, but wait.
It's all part of the escape.
Yeah, that whole chunk of the movie where he ends up on the plane and then jumps on the bike, whatever. That starts in the elevator.
Yeah. That's part of the elevator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he ends up
He jumps out of the elevator onto
See,
the shield.
and that to
they try
me
to close
is
the bridge. He jumps through with the through with the bike, and then he faces off with the
plane.
and that's when he jumps on and does all that.
the plane. Yeah.
This shit.
I love that he jumps out of the elevator. He does that thing where he just opens the thing. He's like, nope. And then
Yeah.
he closes the door. And he looks down. He's like, I think I can make it.
Yeah, I think I can do this.
And then crash. And then he knows that vibranium is going to absorb so much of that
Well,
hit.
to me, it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna make it. You fucking jumped out of a plane at full flight in Avengers with no chute in part 2. Right? He did it in the
That's
beginning.
true.
Yeah, so I'm like,
There's only one God, ma'am, and he doesn't dress like that.
Yeah.
pretty sure it
when,
isn't
he
just like
when he
that.
goes to break up the fight between Iron Man
And
and
Thor.
and Thor.
Yep.
Which is another great action fight.
That is a good one.
It's like power up to 6,000%. He's like,
Yeah.
huh,
Oh.
okay. All right, but I love the elevator scene. I do. I love the elevator scene.
So do I. That was an
So
honorable
what's your
mention
number
for
2,
me.
Neri?
I had to pick one.
That was your number 2 as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so both of you got that elevator. Cap.
Loving an elevator.
Touch of the tongue.
Living it up when crossbones down.
Not that version.
I'm going to go with Thor versus Hulk in Ragnarok.
Oh, we can talk about it now.
So go ahead.
They showed this part in the trailers where Thor comes out and he goes, "Yes, I know him from work." I fucking love that line.
So did you see the interview with Jimmy Kimmel where they talked about your favorite line or whatever from whatever your character, and Hemsworth said that line was actually given by one of the people that had a Make-A-Wish.
I heard this, yeah.
trip.
Oh, really?
So one of the people that were doing the Make-A-Wish trips or whatever, one of the kids is like, "Oh, why don't you have him say he's a friend from work?" And that's the fucking line. And that was
That's
I'm
amazing.
like, yeah, that's one of the best lines of the movie. And I love Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Like,
it's amazing.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I love
the
that fucking
director's
movie.
amazing.
It's in my top 5 of MCU movies. I feel like
Core 2B.
I feel like I've that doesn't mean anything anymore because I've already stated Iron Man 2 is in my top 5. So I feel like it's like people are like, yeah, but Iron Man 2 is in your top 5. But I love Ragnarok a lot, and that scene is great. I was a big I had a lot of criticism for Ragnarok prior to it coming out because I was just like, you're just making a Planet Hulk movie. You're doing anything you can not to make it a Thor movie. Right, that's what I was like thinking, like and I ate my words, man. But Thor Ragnarok is fucking great in all senses.
There's this like retro 80s vibe to it that I really dig, and the whole aesthetic of the Colosseum to me is awesome. It reminded
I feel like the aesthetic of the entire movie is just awesome.
Yeah,
One of my
The devil's
favorite
anus.
one of my favorite things in that fight is Loki throughout that fight.
how nervous he looks.
Well, when he sees Hulk come out, he's like, I gotta get. And he literally goes, I gotta get out of here. And like he's like, and then when Hulk smashes Thor the same way he smashes Loki gets up and goes, yeah, now you know how it feels.
Yeah. That brotherly rivalry is.
And you see Jeff Goldblum like look at him like, what the fuck is going on?
I love the way that Goldblum introduces Thor. He's like, Lord of Thunder.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, your champion.
And you see the green
he doesn't
smoke.
say, he does say Lord of Thunder, right? He
Yeah.
does say Lord of
And you
Thunder.
see, like,
He's
the green
God,
smoke,
it's
like,
God of Thunder. Thor's like, it's God. It's God of Thunder.
God of Thunder.
He's just so blasé.
That's a really cool fight. And then like Thor fucking lightning's out,
Yeah, he
like-
realizes his godly powers.
Yeah.
There for I think that's the first time that he
Without
gets
the
the
hammer.
thunder without the hammer, right?
Yeah.
And then during that, he's like
It was
trying to talk Hulk
Are you
down.
Thor, God of Hammers?
He's trying to talk Hulk down from like the ledge. Like he's like, it's me, calm down, like stop. And
I
like,
love
throughout
when
the
he
fight-
finally goes for when Thor goes, oh, okay. We're gonna have a fight then. All right. I thought we were gonna be cool about this. But all right. Like, and he was like, "You're embarrassing me in front of my friends." But afterwards, when he goes for, when Thor decides to be like, "Okay, we gotta have an actual." Like, I love that. And like, it had a lot of elements of comedy in the beginning, which were great. But then when I'm one of those guys. I don't like comedy in my fights for the most part. I don't like. That's why I'm not a big fan of Jackie Chan. I don't like the my head hurts. Like, oh fuck you, just fucking. That's why I'm a bigger fan of Jet Li. Where I'm just like, you're supposed to be badass. Give me a fucking badassery. I like badassery. And but with Ragnarok, it had its comedy when it was well placed and was well timed. But then when it was time to get serious, in the sense of now this is a serious fight, that fight was legit fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It was so fucking great. I was like, yeah, this is it, man. And like when you go, this is what Thor has got. And to add even more levity afterwards is when they were having a conversation.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, yeah, we had a fight. And he goes, what? We did?
Hulk like fire.
Oh no, but yeah, smolder fire. Like big fire. You're like little fire. No, but afterwards, when he turns back to Banner, he goes, yeah, we had a fight. He goes, we did? And he goes, who won? He goes, I did. Easily. That doesn't sound right. He goes, yeah, it was easy. It was not even. It was so good. It was so good. That one was all great. But that fight was fucking. And when he puts the fucking helmet down, when that's
an awesome helmet.
Yeah,
I love the war paint that he's got on.
Also, he got a haircut.
Yeah, that haircut is legit great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yep.
Kudos to Stan Lee,
Did he
the
still
barber.
have his eye in that fight? I don't remember.
He did. He doesn't lose the eye
Until he goes back.
until he fights Hela the last time.
The last time. One thing there's another scene in Thor Ragnarok that is on my honorable mentions, but one thing that I liked about when they were on that planet Hulk is when after the fight that Thor's trying to talk some sense into Hulk and they get into Bruce Banner. He's like, Bruce Banner's not my friend, whatever. Yeah, like I like you, you're better. He's into science, whatever. And then when Bruce Banner comes back, like him trying to convince him that he's like, you know, that he prefers Bruce Banner over the Hulk.
Nobody likes the Hulk. Nobody likes him. Bruce is the one.
I think you're just saying that, and he gets all like butthurt about it. It was pretty funny.
It was great, and then at the end where fucking now we're talking about right now, but at the end when Banner jumps off the plane to get.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'll show you.
And then he just lands on the Rainbow Bridge, and he starts getting fucking played with the wolf. That's hilarious to me. I thought it was great. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my number 2.
Nice.
All right. Any honorable mentions?
Yeah. Well, do you want me to read online? Because I have.
Sure.
Well, my wife has number 4, Cap versus Bucky versus Black Panther chase in Civil War. Number 3, she has Cap versus Bucky in the highway. Number 2, she has Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man in Civil War. And number 1, she has Cap versus the Hydra elevator in Civil War. Honorable mentions: Black Widow in the chair with the Russian guys and the casino fight in Black Panther. I think all those are great.
That's a great list.
Yeah. Q has...
Hi, Q.
Hi, Q. Age of Ultra, Iron Man versus Hulk. Captain Marvel, the I'm Just a Girl scene. Winter Soldier elevator fight. Avengers Battle of New York. Honorable mention: Infinity War Battle of Wakanda. Civil War Cap Bucky versus Iron Man. At Yondu Whistle fight. And Thor versus Hulk. Mr. Will Watkins has Elizabeth Olsen versus Scarlet Witch's accent. Cap 1's battle with 3D conversion. Thor's characterization in the first 2 solo movies versus Ragnarok, and the unproduced Inhumans movie versus the shitty TV show that was filmed in IMAX.
All right.
Rob Calvert has Tony Stark versus the robot with the fire extinguisher. That's so good.
Wait, what?
In the first Iron Man.
In the first Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
The first Iron Man where he takes down Middle Eastern terrorists in the village.
That's such a great scene.
Yeah.
That's the I Am Iron Man scene. When they put Black Sabbath's fucking I Am Iron Man.
The final battle versus Thanos. And Hulk versus Thor in Ragnarok. Mr. Mike Murgadal has Cap versus Bucky, Winter Soldier.
In the highway scene.
Yeah, that's
he
what I'm
further.
guessing.
He further.
Oh, he further. Okay. Killmonger versus T'Challa and Black Panther. I
the
guess.
waterfall scene. He further clarified.
Okay.
I had to ask him.
Yeah, because
there's two of them. And
Thank
one of
you
them,
for thinking what I was thinking.
Yeah, because one of them I was like, and I literally, if you scroll down to the comments, I was like, just to make sure, because I.
Yeah.
One of
So
them
he's talking about when what was the battle
one.
for the king.
Yeah, he's
king,
talking about the good one.
Yeah. Hulk versus Thor in Ragnarok, and Hammer Cap versus Thanos in Endgame. Honorable mention: House Party Protocol and Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oni Perez. So far, all superheroes in no particular order.
Yeah.
Number 4, Frank Dux versus Paco in Bloodsport.
Frank Dukes.
Or I said Dux. Sorry.
Yeah.
Number 3, Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris in Way of the Dragon. 2, Steven Seagal versus 4 Guys in a Convenience Store in Hard to Kill. And number 1, The Bride versus Go-Go in The Crazy 88 and Kill Bill Volume 1. Honorable mention: Van Damme versus Tong Po. Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then because I took a photo, so I didn't get the rest of them.
And then he said, Seagal looking for Richie, Lionheart, final fight scene, Revenge of the Ninja, final fight scene on the rooftop.
Fantastic.
And then later on, I thought he was doing that just to be a dick. And then later on, he goes, "Oh fuck, I didn't read that it was." I thought.
So he really thought it was.
He thought it was a superheroes, and then he went with this. He didn't realize it was MCU. Like he didn't. He's like, "Oh, I totally misread that." I'm like, "It's." I literally put, "It's a perfect only list," and he goes, It's completely off topic." I go, "That's why it's a perfect only list. That's your thing, man."
Then Jacob Rubin has Winter Soldier elevator fight, Civil War airport fight, Iron Man 2, Tony and Rhodey versus Whiplash, and Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket.
He's a man on his own island on that one.
And then Ant-Man versus Yellow Jacket on the floor of Cassie's bedroom. Both a great fight scene and hilarious parody of superhero fights. Agreed. Jemiah has Iron Man versus Hulk in Age of Ultron, Elevator Winter Soldier, last 10 minutes of Endgame, and Thor versus Hulk Ragnarok. Honorable mention: End of Ragnarok, which is fucking fantastic. Airport fight in Civil War and Infinity War. All of them.
Sure.
Q already. We were at Q's.
That's it.
What about Daniel Romero? There's 2 more.
Oh, sorry.
Daniel Romero has Cap America at the airport, Civil War at the airport, Captain America, Cap and Bucky versus Tony, the elevator scene, and Endgame, Cap, Thor, and Tony versus Thanos. And then Alex Suarez has from 4 to 1, Hulk versus Hulkbuster, Cap versus Strike Team in the elevator, Guardians 2, Baby Groot versus the Ravengers, and Endgame, Captain America with Thor's hammer. Honorable mention: Avengers Assemble battle, Gauntlet, Hot Potato, Avengers Battle of New York, and Guardians Volume 1 Dance Battle. Missy, honorable mentions?
There were mentions a lot. Avengers New York, the elevator scene from Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, but the last fight that had immigrant song
so
playing. Like how
even the first fight in that fight with him.
How do you make that epic fight with hot as fuck Thor even better? Like you play Led Zeppelin. I was like, that's your like, oh my god.
I almost wanted them to do Thunderstruck because they had already played Immigrant Song at the beginning.
Yeah. It would have made
movie.
sense for them to do Thunderstruck.
Yeah. And then that's literally when he has that
when
vision
he's flying in the air with the
when
lightning.
he's flying when he talks to his dad, and his dad goes, "Are you the god of hammer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I thought that Thunderstruck was gonna come back.
Aren't you the god of thunder?
Boom, boom. Like I thought that was gonna happen, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Well,
go on, Missy.
Well, I guess I was by myself enjoying that.
No, I love that.
No, it's
and Valkyrie
I love
with
that.
the fireworks that magically appeared out of the spaceship that crash landed on the other end of the bridge. When Valkyrie walks into the fight, it's fireworks shooting out of the fucking ship.
Valkyrie was great.
It was meant for his orgies.
Oh, that's right.
And Age of Ultron, the Sokovia battle. That's my honorable mention.
My honorable mentions are
What's the Sokovia battles?
Like the final fight.
Yeah, everything happened as Sokovia's flying up.
Oh, right.
Scarlet Witch gets on the team. The
Right.
pep talk.
Right. When her brother dies.
Full of lead.
Right. He dies of lead poisoning.
I guess lead weighs you down.
Fuckers. Heartless fuckers.
My honorable mentions are
He was all hollow inside.
Oh, come on.
You're passing the baton wrong.
Because you get it because the hollow point.
Yeah. No, I got it. You can laugh. It's safe.
You're in a safe place.
Mjolnir wielding Cap versus Thanos in Endgame. Cap versus Bucky in the helicarrier from Winter Soldier, like inside the end part. That fight makes me cry every single time. Black Widow in the hallway fight in Iron Man 2
with Happy.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, that is a
I
perfect.
got one.
That's a perfect introduction to Black Widow. I mean, because we've seen her and we know that like she can fight because she takes on Tony in the ring.
But we got Natasha.
But
this is the first
right,
time we got
this is the
Black
first time
Widow.
we see Black Widow, and
she
she
takes
does
on John
not
Cage.
disappear.
Jon Favreau. She takes on Happy in the ring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is happy.
He swings at her. He goes,
He-
"Don't take your hand. Your like always pay attention or whatever." And she catches it and flips him.
She does not disappoint.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Ever.
And then
Missy was disappointed.
I only had one note that's nothing. It doesn't even mean anything to the moment.
Cool. So let's move on.
I just
No, I'm just
think
kidding.
that her wig is terrible in Iron Man 2. That's
I
my
think her
only-
hair looks best in Iron Man 2. I love her hair.
it's the one that's closest to the comics,
And it's the best one. To me, it's always been my favorite. And every other iteration is like, oh, they're doing something different. All right, whatever, I guess.
Well, that's my only thing, but it doesn't mean anything because
Such
she
a
still
girl.
kicks ass.
I mean, she's gone through different haircuts in all the
That's
comics,
all me.
but
Can you just call me fat like a normal person? Jeez.
and then my last honorable mention is, and I know I'm probably gonna get some shit for this one, but I love the final fight, Doctor Strange with Dormammu.
Oh my God.
Where
Bro, that's the worst.
Dormammu,
Holy fuck.
Dormammu, I've come to make a bargain.
Oh my God.
That fight is
That
so
move?
yes.
Like the-
I love the
fucking
idea of that
worst.
fight where it's like, bro, I'm just gonna make your life fucking miserable
God.
until you leave.
Bro,
Earth.
I'm just gonna act like a 2-year-old and be super fucking annoying until you give me what I want, like a fucking
And it worked.
Yes, of course it works. We all have kids. Of course it works. Of course it works. It doesn't mean it's a fucking great fight.
You think I wanted a bounce house? No.
Think about a trampoline? No, but we fucking got one, right? That doesn't mean it's great for an MCU fight. Jesus,
Oh,
that
man,
fucking
I
fight.
loved it. I loved
that
it.
hurt that ranking of that movie so much that I was like, bro, I love this movie
I
for
love that
everything
movie.
else. Oh, I love that movie. Just the ending. Again, it's one of those that I had to teach myself. It's not the ride that you wanted because you don't like this ride. Because I know nothing about Doctor Strange comics. I read the.
They nailed it without doing
I
his
met the
exact
Oath.
origin. They nailed it.
I read the Oath before the movie came out, and it's pretty close to the Oath
Yeah.
as far as the storytelling. But that's besides the point. I just didn't like that. That's the stupidest fucking
I
fight of all
can't
time.
wait to see what they're gonna do.
Oh, I can't wait to see the rest of the
Baron
movie.
Mordo.
Yeah, but that whole fight. Oh, I came to border. Oh, fuck you! It's so annoying.
Wait, are they doing another Doctor Strange?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't. They don't have like a date or anything, but
They don't have any date assigned for any movie except for Far From Home. They haven't announced.
which is still
They haven't-
phase 3.
That's still the end of. That's literally the end of Phase 3. They haven't announced dates as of this point from the time of this recording. In May of 2019, they have not announced any dates for any. They haven't even officially
did.
announced
Black Widow.
Black Widow's movie, even though it's like the worst kept secret in Hollywood that she's gonna get her own movie.
Well, Ellen asked her about it, and she said that there was a script being worked on, but she couldn't confirm anything other than that.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel asked her about. Jimmy Kimmel goes, "Yeah, but we're gonna get a Black Widow movie," and she was like, "What now?" And she goes, "Yeah, a Black Widow movie." And she was like, Excuse me?" Like she played it off
Like,
that
played
way.
it off?
She just, and every time he brought it up, she just kept another iteration of, "Huh? What? I'm sorry. What? What's going on? Oigo, Mande, Mande."
Neri,
Oigo.
actually, you are incorrect.
And
That they have released the release dates of a bunch of other movies.
which ones?
New Mutants comes out April 3rd, 2020.
Is that official or is that what people
No,
are
this
saying?
is a
Because-
no.
But wait,
because-
that's the last of the Fox
yeah,
X-Men movies.
That's
That's
those
not
are,
Morbius
MCU.
comes out July 31st.
yeah, that's
2020.
Sony.
That's Sony. Yeah.
That's not MCU. And again, now it's all part of MCU. Now I guess whatever, but that's Sony, and that's not Phase 4. Those aren't dates.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it says unconfirmed. Like they have certain dates, but
And they
it
have
says-
certain dates. They have like, and they when Disney did that D23, they released like unnamed Marvel movie
Right.
2025, whatever. Okay, whatever the fuck that
I mean,
means.
there's a whole bunch that they've said they're gonna make. So just plug and
Plug
play.
and play, whatever the fuck you think. There's
I hope they come out with Black Widow.
Feige still said that Inhumans is not off the table.
Right.
Still trying to figure that out.
I'd love to see them do it right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as movies go, they really don't fuck up too much. Not that it was not TV show bad. Jesus Christ, that TV show was awful. All right, so honorable mentions from me.
What, my honorable mentions?
Yeah, there you go, Jeff.
Well, no, you can go first.
You go. Honorable.
I have the Black Widow, the chair escape with the Russians in
fucking
Avengers.
awesome.
That was really cool.
She's super hot.
Yeah.
For real.
I have War Machine and Iron Man versus the Hammer Drones.
Oh, okay.
in Iron Man 2.
That's a great one.
It's a kill box. You're not supposed to be in there. Boom. Fuck. I actually have Hela versus the
Our big gun should stay over there, and they both start
and they
walking.
both walk away. It's like,
you have a big gun. Doesn't make you the big gun. Yeah.
I have Hela versus the Asgardian army in Thor
fucking
Ragnarok.
good, Hela, underrated villain.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, she was great.
But that whole scene where it's just literally she's taking down the ships with her daggers and
Yeah.
everything like that. The Yondu whistle scene from Guardians 2. And then I actually have an Iron Man 3 one.
I like Iron Man 3.
Tony, when he's escaping the Mandarin's facility, that the suit slowly starts coming to him.
Yeah.
That he's like fighting the guys, and then like he gets like one hand and is able to like shoot once, and then he gets like a leg, so he's like floating. Like I just love that scene.
Oh, I completely forgot about that scene.
Yeah, that he slowly starts getting the pieces of the suit in.
Do you know Mike read for a part in that scene? He was going to be one of the guys that were holding him captive.
Oh, really?
He got to like the second callback.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he got close to getting that role where he was just going to be.
It would have been great.
A goon, just like, but it was going to be him who was like, oh, when he smashes the watch, he goes, oh, that's my friend's watch, limited edition, and he smashes it. Mike read for that role.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So now I always see that movie and I'm like, could have been my friend. Bastard. Bastardo. Is that it?
Yeah.
I only have 2 honorable mentions, and that's T'Challa versus Killmonger in the waterfall. I've been close to the waterfall.
Challenge.
Is this your king? And Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man in Civil War. Those are my only honorable mentions.
Okay.
Everything else has been talked about and mentioned before. Even these have been talked about and mentioned, but I just had these. Right.
Missy, number 1.
My number 1 is the battle at Shield in Endgame.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. One more honorable mention. Nick Fury versus Hydra. In the car.
Great.
Yeah, with the minigun.
With the minigun. That's so fucking good, dude. Oh my god. No, Shield at 10%.
Yeah.
Shield.
Window. Yeah. Shield quality at 10%. Oh,
fucking great. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Missy.
So Endgame, the battle at Shield, where Cap on your left, that whole thing.
So like the final fight of
Final fight. Yeah. For me, I think.
So what?
Why'd you say Shield?
Because that. Yeah. Why'd you say Shield?
Because they just got the Infinity Stones and they realized that they could do it or something, and then as they're about to celebrate, Thanos shows up.
But it's not Shield.
Oh, you mean Avengers headquarters?
Yeah, that's Avengers.
Oh, it's not Shield.
No. It's Avengers
Remember
headquarters.
Shield after Winter Soldier
Yeah,
is
disbanded.
You're right. My bad. That's what I meant.
So here's my question. As far as Endgame is concerned, where do you stop and start? Because there's multiple battles and multiple fights in that long last half hour.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking in general. The whole class.
For me, it's when Thanos shows up and starts blowing shit up, and then they have to like rush out and.
Okay, because then there was a fight. There was a fight between.
Yeah, because
there was a 3-on-1 fight versus Thanos.
That's the first fight.
And then there was a on your left, and all the portals open up where everybody except for the TV shows show up.
Right.
So then
there was a fight, then there was a war. That's the way I put it.
There was a fight and there was a battle, I guess. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah,
well,
okay.
I said battle, so I guess I meant
from the point the portals open.
From the point that the portals open to that.
On your left, that was one of the scenes. That was one of the only scenes I cried in that scene, and I was like, "Yeah, but you cry, I fucking jump and die." I mean,
but
MCU had not made me cry.
You gotta mention that time again, man.
MCU had not made me. MCU had not made me cry in 11 years. The only time they made me get choked up is when in Guardians 2 when Drax talks about his daughter.
Yeah.
Because I have a daughter, so I got choked up a lot in that one. But that's the only one that I got choked up in 11 years. And I said that out loud to a few of you guys before Endgame. And then Endgame was like, okay, buddy. All right. Challenge accepted.
I was writing up until that point, I was like, oh, this has been a great movie. But I haven't cried because I was expecting to be way more emotional. And then it was like, hold my beer.
I just cried at one part. That was it.
Endgame really showed me that I can cry for 3 hours straight.
You need an Endgame to tell me
How long was your wedding?
Yeah. How long have you been married? I just saw the joke, man. Come on, you can't leave that fucking low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's like
it's always low hanging fruit with me, man. Not that high off the ground.
Big balls.
So anyway, us as the audience.
So on your left,
we've been waiting. I'd been waiting a year for that moment because you knew they were gonna fix it. It was just the build up to how they were gonna do it. But finding out, watching the movie, knowing that it's not it wasn't like, okay, let's reconvene and try again. It had been like 5 years, knowing like the build up for them, like the stress, how much Tony had gone through, like where he starts to where he is, and then of course the full circle moment where he says, "I am Iron Man," and snaps his finger, and then he dies. In keeping
Spoiler alert.
in keeping
Oh
with,
my god.
in
Nobody's
keeping-
even seen this movie yet.
I know, you're right. It's only made like $2 billion. What was I
It's
thinking?
been 3 weeks.
Yeah, beat
Yeah.
Avatar already.
Domestically.
Domestically.
Yeah.
So in keeping in the theme for, and I didn't do this on purpose, but it just, when I started writing my notes, that's what happened. Like for me, the airport fight is seeing Tony's desperation in Infinity War, is seeing him lose and have his like worst nightmare come to life, and then finally in Endgame to see him like fulfill, like fix it basically, and at the cost of his own life. But I think we can all agree that he's like fine. He makes his peace with it. He's okay now.
Because
like,
he's at peace in general.
Yeah,
That was the one scene that made me cry.
The
in
I Am
whole
Iron Man?
movie. No, when Pepper puts her hand on his chest and says,
We're okay?
It's okay.
We'll be
We're
fine."
okay. We'll be fine. You can rest now." Because it's on that level of the movie and above that in the real
Yeah.
MCU. Like, he's the one that was the
Started
driving
everything.
force for this.
Do you see how when I told you that day, hey, don't worry about it, we'll be okay? Remember when I texted that to you and you had no idea what I was talking
Yeah.
about? You thought I was just trying to calm you down because you had a bad day? I was like, this is foreshadowing, but he has no idea. He has no idea.
It's gonna make sense later.
I love you 3000.
Oh, I love you 3000. That's so cute.
That's in my profile now on Instagram.
Well, the movie ended and Neri turns to Vanessa and goes, "I'm using that with the kids now. That's my thing."
Yes. and then you hear everybody in the movie theater turn to their significant other. I'm using that, by the way. It's my thing now. I'm using that, by the way. It's my
See,
thing
I
now."
did that, and the weird lady next to me was like, "I don't even fucking know you."
Stranger.
The lady was like, "Gay?"
That lady was so disappointed the entire movie
Oh my god.
because the moment that Fat Thor came out, she's like when she heard Thor's voice, she goes, "Here we go."
I heard my wife go, "Yes," and she saw his long hair. Like, oh my god.
And then the moment he shows up, it's like, "Oh, I'm done with this." Like, she literally said that. She's like, "I'm done with this movie."
I came for the abs.
Well, I really thought, I mean, side note, not having to do this, but I really thought when they did, it was brilliant how they did it. They did the close up. I was like, oh, we're going to get old school hot Thor
Long
with
hair
like
Thor.
not bleached eyebrows. Let's do this. And then they pan out. I was like, oh no, what happened? So yeah, I mean, I've always been like a straight movie person, like when it comes to the Marvel universe. So the culmination.
I've been
Also,
a gay movie person.
I had also been watching.
I'm bi movie.
It had been like 3 weeks of
Pan
not.
movie.
I dabble.
I'm fluid. I'm very fluid in my movies.
Never mind.
Oh, come on. We bust balls. That's what we do. Come on.
Anyway,
Stop.
because I'm trying to get through my point.
Yes,
You're cock blocking.
I know, but that's the funny part.
I'm cinema fluid.
Just if you keep going, it's funny because you're not paying attention to us, and it's funny.
Right.
It adds to
So
comedy.
anyway, I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
You were straight.
Yeah, and then you dabbled.
Oh, I had been watching the entire rewatching the entire Marvel
Cinematic
catalog
universe. Right.
up until that point, so everything was fucking right at the surface.
Fresh.
So it was really cool. It was a really cool moment for the culmination, I think, for the entire franchise. So I'm excited to see what happens next.
So the favorite fight scene again?
Um,
Was your pick for this?
Battle
I,
at the
feel, I know. I feel like you went into this thing about Endgame review, and I'm like, cool. So the fight we were talking about is
Your
Battle
favorite.
at Shield. After
Your
when-
favorite was
when they come back. When everybody comes back on your left.
Avengers headquarters, not Shield.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Cool.
know that. Yeah.
I
On
can't
your
argue
on
with
your
that.
left
That's a
made me
fucking
cry.
great.
On your
That's
left
an
made me
epic fight.
cry.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
My number one MCU battle is Storm versus Toad X1.
Good, grand. It's fucking so good.
What
does-
do you know what happens when a toad is struck by lightning? Same thing that happens to everything else.
Joss Whedon wrote that line.
Of course he did. That's why it's fucking gold. That's why we're still quoting it.
Missy's so confused. She's like,
I have no idea what's
In
happening.
the first X-Men movie,
I haven't seen that in literally 19 years.
Toad has his tongue on the metal bar, and I think because she blew him out, didn't she?
Whoa.
No,
Take it easy. That's in the other
No,
porn
she
version.
just has lightning strike him.
I thought for some reason he was like she was using the wind and had blown him. If I remember correctly, I thought it was.
I think she had blown out the windows.
Yeah,
and the lightning
maybe.
just comes in and strikes. Well, no, my real number one is Cap and Bucky versus Iron Man in Civil War.
Number one.
Cap.
I think that this may be the best choreographed fight I have ever seen.
Cap 3.
Yeah, well, I think it's that we watch a lot of martial arts.
You know what? Not, excluding like
because Jackie Chan does some fucking
I'm talking like excluding those.
I would say
those Hong Kong martial arts movies.
I'm gonna say a safe thing would
American
be
movies.
and in the MCU for sure.
In the MCU
So
for
not
sure.
ever.
I mean, why don't we stick to that? I mean, that's
All right. Well, definitely the best choreographed in.
Yeah, that's why it's your
in the
number one.
MCU.
And to
Wouldn't it be weird if it was like, this is not the best, but it's my number one? It's like,
even,
well, okay.
yeah, even given the end game scenario,
Mm-hmm.
to me it is one of the most impactful fights in the MCU, if not the most impactful fight in the MCU. Because
With the exception of obviously Tony dying, this fight is much more emotional.
yeah, I mean, because you go from a point of there's acceptance and we're gonna work together to.
I think the scene leading to the fight is emotional. I don't think the fight is emotional.
Oh no, you're completely
there's,
wrong.
there's dialogue within the fight too.
I think the
when
scene
Cap's
is
on
emotional.
top of him and fucking stabbing him, hitting him with the shield,
Which
and
is
they're like
right out of the comics.
like they're he's literally like after they were fighting the whole time, and he goes. He didn't mean it. He goes. He killed my mom.
Yeah, he killed my mom.
And he,
Yeah.
that was mid fight.
and
he's
you
like going-
you see the tears welling up in his eyes
Yeah.
as he's saying this.
like he's just like it's a Tony that has no control.
Yeah.
which is not a Tony that you've really seen because Tony's always systematic in what he's done, and in this one he just lets him. He's basically the Hulk in this point.
Yeah.
He lets his emotions. Control him.
He's never I think wanted to kill anyone,
like, up until that point.
and you see him like a kill shot. That's a kill shot when he blows off his arm. If that had not been a metal arm,
Yeah.
and he uses that same beam on everyone,
And then
on both Bucky and Cap in that.
And
Well,
then,
he did want to kill Mandarin when he issued that challenge. He goes, good old fashioned revenge, and he gives his address. But I get what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
and
Well,
then,
I also haven't seen that movie since it came out.
and then there's that
'Cause it's
one shot.
garbage.
There's that one shot in the end
I love the fucking passion that
where
he has.
where Cap and Bucky are just tossing the shield back and forth to each other.
Oh my
and
god,
they're doing just that.
Just thinking about it gets me hard.
I can tell. This just fell over his shook. Missy, watch your ear.
By the way, it's not a banana in his pocket.
Yeah, but there's just, to me, it's such a. I kind of disagree with Neri. To me, there's such emotion behind that entire fight because of what's going on, and Cap legitimately doesn't think that he did anything wrong because
And Cap is wrong.
I don't think Cap doesn't think he did anything wrong. Cap's
You can't blame who you love.
right.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you. Same
Yeah.
thing I told you to the listener. If you listen to the Game of Thrones recap, I said that to David, and David was like, "I think you're just trying to not be wrong, not admit you're wrong."
But
this is
Cersei
that
wasn't mind
exact same.
controlled.
This is that exact same situation. You can't blame who you love.
Yeah.
And just
Cersei
because
wasn't mind controlled though.
What? She was.
I don't think these are the same sort of.
But my point is that when you love somebody, just because they do something bad
Right,
or
yeah.
awful, you still defend them because you still love them.
This whole story, the last act there is really difficult for him because he loves Tony too.
I don't think it's real difficult for him. He lied to Tony.
I don't think
it's
so either.
difficult at all.
He hates the decision he took.
Sure, I don't. Maybe it wasn't an easy one, but it doesn't seem like he is upset about the decision he took.
I don't think he is.
1,000 times. If he was given that chance 1,000 times, he would make that same decision 1,000 times.
I'm sure he did, but it's not a decision
But I
he
think
made
the
lightly.
only reason he made that decision is because of the fact that Bucky was mind controlled, and he knows that
And
that's not the person.
Yeah.
that he's
And he
friends
lied.
with.
And he lied to Tony. He goes,
That's the bigger sin.
There's two lies. One, in lying by omission by not telling him, and two, Tony flat out asked him, "Did you know?" And he goes, "I had an idea." And he goes, "Did you know?" And he said, "Yeah." So he lied when he said, "I had an idea." No, bitch, you knew. Now you're just lying to try to fucking. If you would have not asked him again, If he would have go, did you know? And he goes, oh, I had an idea. Had Tony not forced him again to fucking like give me a straight answer, he would have kept that lie. He lied to Tony twice, by omission and by actual lying. And fucking there's a plot hole in that whole thing where Bucky with his arm in a vice says, oh, what did I do? Like he didn't remember what he did because he was being mind controlled. And then when he's having a fight with Tony, he goes, did you even know? And he goes, I remember all of them. So there's a fucking plot hole, or he's a liar, whichever one you want to say.
You mean the guy who was a spy super soldier?
Yeah,
is a liar.
He could be.
Yeah,
but remember the.
I get angry talking about this because I'm fucking so much on Tony's side on this one. I'm like, you killed their fucking parents. That's fine. You're mind controlled. We're gonna move on with this one. But I'm mad at fucking Steve. He's not my captain at this point. He's fucking Steve.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, you're not Steve.
I just think,
yeah,
and then
you don't deserve that shield. Oh, such a powerful fucking moment, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he goes, you don't deserve that shield. My dad made
my father's shield.
No, my dad made that shield. He's like, and then he fucking drops it because he knew.
Yeah.
He
knew he was wrong.
Steve was wrong in that fucking movie, man. He was fucking wrong. I just disliked him.
And you have that one cool shot.
And then you deliver a fucking flip phone. How fucking dare you, bro?
And then
you're just going to ignore all the wrong that Tony was in that movie?
I don't think Tony was wrong in that movie.
Okay, that's fucking
I don't think Tony was wrong in that movie. I don't think Tony...
Tony was absolutely wrong in that movie.
I think the wrongs that Tony may have made were coming from a good place, and what the wrongs that Steve did were coming from a selfish place.
No, it's not selfish.
It was also coming from a good place.
You just hate Captain America. You hate America.
Yeah.
And America's ass.
And then you get that one shot where Cap,
he's not wrong.
shield, he's got the shield up. He's got the shield up, and Iron Man's like blasting it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and it's that slow motion shot.
Yeah. It's epic. That's a comic book shot too.
Yeah.
That's literally the cover. I think that's the cover of Civil War. Is that not the cover of Civil War?
I think so.
Fuck.
What? I think it's maybe issue 6 that used that cover.
Yeah. It was one of those.
Yeah, I love this fight.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's my number one for a reason.
And my number one too.
I would love it more.
Although if this was not MCU and it was any Marvel movie, it would have been Storm versus Toad
or Deadpool.
No, that's
Storm versus Toad. I said it,
bro. The Deadpool,
said what I said.
the Deadpool car or the Deadpool.
I would.
Deadpool
you know what?
Car is awesome.
I might even go. I know this might not be very popular.
If you say X-Men Origins,
I say X-Men Origins.
I'm gonna fucking punch you in the dick.
Bro, when Wade comes out fucking swinging the katanas and starts cutting bullets with katanas. Oh,
that
fuck
part was
that. Yeah, okay. Not the movie.
I thought you were talking about the end. I thought you were gonna go.
Oh man, when his mouth was covered up, when the merc with the mouth has his mouth covered up. Oh, so beautiful.
The laser eyes like fucking Cyclops.
Jesus Christ. God.
Wolverine.
I'm trying to defend you guys here, man. I'm trying to fucking defend you guys.
Wolverine versus Weapon X in Apocalypse is also a great fucking. I mean, he's not really fighting.
Are you talking about Legend? You talking about Logan?
No. In X-Men Apocalypse,
it was issue 7,
where Nightcrawler and it was issue 7. Okay, Nightcrawler and Jean Grey end up in Weapon X, and they see Logan busting out of Weapon X, and he's fucking murdering everyone.
Right.
That's a great fucking fight.
Oh, okay.
But he's just fighting no-name people.
But I thought you were saying Wolverine versus Weapon X, which would have because that's not Wolverine versus
That's Weapon X that he's in. That's Weapon X.
Right.
It's the Weapon X facility.
Here's what I'm confusing. I'm confusing the Logan fight where he has Logan, where Logan is fighting Weapon X or Weapon 11 or whatever the fuck it's called. Then at that point, the new version of Weapon X.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Remember? Do you remember Logan?
Yeah. I mean, Logan was fucking awesome.
That's great. All right. So, anyways,
Blade. The discotheque.
Oh yeah. Oh, and when he injects the vampire and he blows up like a balloon. Oh man, that was great. They're not all great, guys.
They're not all winners.
My favorite is the fight scene against Thanos when in Endgame before the battle.
It's the 3 of them.
When it's just a 3 against 1.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Beautiful fight.
And when Cap, because at this point he's earned Cap back. When Cap gets when he gets Steve, and he's able to what's his name?
Mjolnir.
No, that Paul Rudd said that his name was. Remember? I sent you guys a.
Fucking, was it Joshua?
No, fucking hold on. Jonathan, yeah. So when Captain America grabs Jonathan for the first time, that's a deep cut. You guys are not going to get it. It's Thor's hammer. It's printed. But when he throws Jonathan, me and Mike, we were fucking giddy like little children when we saw the buildup coming, and we saw Thor's hammer being thrown while Thor's on the floor, and me and Mike were like, "Oh my god, it's gonna happen!" And sure enough, when Mjolnir comes back to Captain America, that
is my favorite moment in the entire MCU.
Yeah, man, I can't even I'm an Iron Man guy all the way, but I can't even disagree. Like, that's such a fucking great moment, and it's 11 years in the making, and you go, "Oh my god!" And then he just fucking starts swinging it and starts fucking lightning, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy is he's the best." I couldn't get over that shit. That fight scene was so fucking epic. It's so great.
El Gran Pingu de Brooklyn,
bro. Ese tipo está...
I just think it's good that the hammer realized that he lied because he was coming from a good place,
right?
So he's
worthy. He's worthy,
right? Yeah, 5 years later. That's why I said he earned Cap back. That's what you heard me. I said he earned Captain back. He earned it back because in Civil War he was just Steve.
But he was just Steve in Infinity War to you too?
I wasn't convinced yet. I wasn't sold yet. You know what?
He had a brooding beard. What else
he was
did you
brooding.
need?
Doesn't mean he's worthy just because he's brooding.
Oh, brooding means...
you know who's not worthy? Fucking Bruce Wayne. He broods like nobody's business. But he's not worthy.
But it's hard to be a billionaire.
Fucking psychopath. Fucking psychopath.
Superman is.
Yes.
He's picked up the hammer before.
Yeah. He's worthy. So, wouldn't that be great? One of the portals opened up.
Justice League versus Avengers crossover.
Yeah.
Back in the mid 90s, late 90s.
Oh, and Superman picked up...
He picks up the hammer. Yeah. Just like in the comics, Cap picked it up.
How fucking scary is that?
Bro.
Not only are you Superman, you've got a fucking hammer.
Well, that's how he stops the battle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, Jonathan says to Steve.
But what
Get it, Jonathan? Jonathan Kent?
I just saw a meme of like that scene where the portals open up, and in one of the portals, it's fucking Henry Cavill in the Superman. Like, oh my god, the fucking place would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! Take my money! Take all of it!"
I wanted to do that meme that they showed that they had Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire come out in the Spider-Man suits too.
That would have been great.
The three of them just swing in.
Yeah.
And then draw Miles Morales in there.
That would have been fantastic.
Oh, animated Miles Morales would have been fucking great. And Spider.
And they could have done it. They could have done it.
Well, there was a tweet from...
But they did Howard the Duck.
I didn't even notice Howard the Duck, you know that?
Almost no one did. He was in there for a total of 18 frames.
I only noticed him because he was in pajamas and he was...
But was it like a close-up shot of him?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I almost didn't notice him, but he was in pajamas and he was about to fuck a human woman.
A Leah Thompson?
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson, bro.
Yeah.
And her most Leah Thompson.
And her...
like... peak
Jaws 3 fucking Howard the Duck Leah Thompson.
Yeah, so Captain America picking up Mjolnir, aka
that's
Jonathan.
fucking phenomenal.
But that whole fight was great.
The whole fight is, yeah.
But just, Thanos, cool, calm, and collective, waiting for them, and they're like, it's a trap, right? And they're like,
that's the fucking... That Thanos, I was like, this fucking Thanos fucks.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm waiting for him.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I know, and he just puts his fucking
helmet
spear
on
down
a spear.
and just is like, I'm gonna just chill.
Just swinging his
I know
big
they're coming.
purple dick
Fuck it.
around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like,
And I love the fact. No,
snap.
I love the fact that he's just like, go get me the fucking gauntlet. You know what's up?
Yeah.
Go fetch it. I'll be here.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. No, it's that scene is yeah. And then on your left, I cried. I fucking just wept. I was like, oh my god, on your left. And then when you see Pepper, I'm like, I mean, that was so many awe-inspiring moments when Pepper comes out. I'm like, Pepper.
And when M'Baku led the charge right next to Steve.
Yeah, that was impressive. But everything.
When Spidey swung in, for me,
you hate women. We get it.
And he gets the gauntlet.
All of them.
I'm not disagreeing.
There was a wave of relief in every reappearance of what we've been waiting for a year.
I mean, you know who would have been helpful in that fight? Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Fight. Would it be great if fucking Daredevil comes out and be like, "Hey guys, my world is always on fire. Is that how it is now? Because I'm seeing like the world's on fire at this point." No.
There's a lot of noise going on. I can. What the fuck's happening?
That was a great meme too. When it's
Yeah, we're gonna wait for the port.
like any minute now, guys. Any minute.
So I think.
Oh, Feige hates the shows. All right, so
we have 3 repeats.
Do we?
You and me with Hulk versus Hulkbuster.
We have 4 because Neri and I have Thor versus Hulk.
Also, we have our mountain.
And you and I have
2 together.
The elevator
and the Cap, Iron Man, Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
Cap with Jonathan.
Jonathan. Paul Rudd is so fun at junkets.
Paul Rudd's just fun.
No, he is.
Versus Thanos. All right, so the final is Cap, Bucky versus Iron Man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Thor
versus Hulk. And
Thor versus Hulk. Then what else?
Cap elevator.
Right.
And Hulkbuster versus Hulk.
Yeah. All right, so that's the final.
Good deal.
Missy, did you get any? You got some on here, right?
No.
In the final?
No. It's fine.
Yeah, I think we all unknowingly purposely try to go against the big fight scenes. And Missy was like, that's all I'm doing.
I wanted to put more effort into it, but then I remembered that one time I tried to go against what I really felt, I ended up with a shitty mountain, so I just went with it.
Well, you had a good mountain.
My response to you for that is tiki-taki, tiki-taki-taki.
You get it wrong every time. It's not tiki-taki.
It's taki-taki.
No,
and I'll never forget it because it's the worst song in the world.
It is. It's terrible.
It's pretty awful. But it's your number 1 for 2018, so
I take it back.
You should get it tattooed somewhere. Taki-taki. Taki-taki.
You're a bastard.
All right, so the final mountain is Cap, Bucky versus Iron Man in Captain America 3, Thor versus Hulk in the Coliseum in Thor Ragnarok, Hulkbuster versus Hulk in Age of Ultron, and the elevator scene in Captain America 2. So if you see there's a running theme here, it's Cap.
You should get it tattooed backwards so when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can remind yourself and read it in the right order.
And suck your own dick.
Man, if he could, he wouldn't be married. There's no reason to be fucking married. If any guy can suck their dick, there's no reason to have a girlfriend.
Fact.
There's no reason.
Cool.
No reason. We can save money. We can so much.
I don't have to take my dick out to dinner.
Yeah, fucking fantastic. My dick loves me for who I am, man. There's no need to take a shower. I don't fucking take a shower. It's my mouth. Anyways, that's our mountain, man. Thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you check out the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network at geekbro.net, including the What's Up Bro podcast, which by the time this is up, last week's episode is the Game of Thrones recap. Zero's on Hero, Mama's or Merlot, What's Good, Shiver, which we have upcoming episodes coming up, we promise. The Talking Geek, Mr. Multiverse, Comedy Fitness, Better Let Me Tell You, and Morbid Curiosity. So make sure you check out geekbro.net. If you are in the South Florida area, Geek Bro is going to be represented by Mamas and Merlot at a panel. So on Saturday, and I don't know the exact time, but on Saturday, if you are going to SuperCon,
it's like 8 or 8:30.
Yeah, 8 or 8:30 SuperCon. Make sure you check out Mamas and Merlot. They're going to be they have their own panel, and they're going to be doing a panel presentation, a live podcast recording. So hope you guys check that out. Again, South Florida, if you're going to be in the SuperCon area, we're all going to be there throughout the whole weekend. So hit us up and we'll try to say hi to you guys, man. Thank you for checking us out. I am Neri Signs. Dave could be checked out at Naked Vengeance.
Naked Vengeance.
Everything is Naked Vengeance. NakedVengeance.com. All their Twitter, their Instagram, everything is Naked Vengeance. Check out the Shivers Instagram as well. Then we have Jeff, that's on every podcast on Geek Bro Network. And Missy, who's on his coattails on every podcast. She was on Mama's last week, on Woo Bro, and now Geekmore. So make sure you guys check her out. And check out my comedy at NeriSigns.com, aka whatwashisname.com. You guys been great. That's how mountains are made.